So I just recently saw a film called Nurse, or Nurse 3D as you can also call it, and it's directed by a man named Douglas Mike and it stars a woman named Paz de la Huerta. I saw this movie not in 3D, so I was kind of disappointed because, you know, it wasn't in 3D and I didn't get to see it, and I was just really sad and I want to see it. But yeah, I saw this film in 2D standard edition on my television, and it's about a woman named Abby Russell who is obviously she's a nurse, and that's her daytime job, but at nighttime, let's just say she does something a little more different. By night, she likes to go out and seduce men, or at least, you know, make them think that she's gonna seduce them, and then eventually kills them in many various kind of brutal ways. So yeah, it's a bit like Scarlett Johansson in Under the Skin, except that movie did it a lot better than this one. And then you eventually figure out that this chick is pretty crazy, and there's a younger nurse, I forget her name in the film, but she eventually, you know, gets kind of into her life, and she tries to mess up her life. And that is as far as I'm gonna go without spoiling anything for you guys. Now, like I mentioned, like, you know, a couple seconds ago, this movie is very similar to Under the Skin, but of course I liked Under the Skin a lot better. This film was a lot more low budget, even though that's not really a bad thing that it's low budget, but it's a lot more low budget and a lot more cheesy. And cheesy, like, not in a good way. You can kind of tell you're supposed to take this movie a little seriously. Like, there's parts where you're like, okay, the movie's not necessarily taking itself seriously right now, but you know, you're not really supposed to be laughing at this movie. It's kind of laughably bad at some parts, and you know, that's not very good when you're laughing at a movie and you're kind of supposed to be taking it seriously, or, you know, since it's a horror film, you're supposed to be scared of it. And yeah, this film is not scary at all, even though I think its biggest intention wasn't to be necessarily scary, but really the movie's all about blood and guts and gore and chicks and boobs, and if you're into that kind of stuff, then this is definitely the movie for you. You. Because you get a bunch of that stuff in this movie. You get chicks and nudity, and then you got the blood and the gore and the guts and all that good stuff. And if you love movies like that where it's just nothing but all that nonsense, then this is definitely the movie for you. You will love the hell out of this movie. But if you are looking for a smart horror film with some excellent writing and some excellent acting, then this is definitely not the movie for you, because this movie does not have those. The writing is bad, the acting is bad, the movie is overall essentially a bad movie. But for some people it could be bad in a good way, you know, they can actually, you know, sit down and be entertained by this film because of the excessive amount of boobs and blood and gore in here. But if you're not all about that stuff, then this movie's not for you. This is not a very smart movie by any means. I don't think it was really made to be a smart movie because it's kind of cheesy. But there's some people out there who can be entertained by this film and, you know, enjoy it. But then there's also going to be people out there who are going to hate this film, and, you know, because it's not really, like I said, a smart movie. It's a pretty bad film, and if you're okay with that, and if you're just in it just to watch the boobs and the blood and the gore, then there you go. So essentially, this movie's just one big mixed bag. You know, there's people who are gonna like this movie, and then there's people who aren't gonna like this movie, depending on the person you are and, you know, the kind of taste you have in certain movies. But yeah, personally, I thought the movie was okay. I found it to be a little entertaining, but, you know, it wasn't a film that, you know, is going to impact me throughout the years, and I don't think it's necessarily a film that I'm going to be visiting ever again. It's just a nice little movie to watch, you know, once in your lifetime, and that's pretty much it. And that's pretty much all it is, but, you know, like I said, for what it was actually kind of entertaining. Oh, and as for the 3D, I can't tell you how that is because I did not see this movie in 3D, so I don't know how the 3D is, to be honest with you, so I'm sorry. But overall, despite not watching this film in 3D like it said in the title, I thought it was a decent little horror film. It's nothing, you know, like I said, it's going to be remembered throughout the years, but I definitely do think this movie has its audience where, you know, some people will really like this film, but then there's going to be those people who don't like this film at all. But overall, I'm going to go ahead and give this film a 3 out of 5. I enjoyed it for what it was. I found it to be pretty entertaining, but it's not something that I don't think I'm ever going to watch again. Alright guys, that is it for this review. Do not forget to leave a comment down below on what movie I should review next. I'm Jacob Palacio, forgot to mention that part, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.